JEE Advanced has been asking problems on number theory recently, even though this is not a part of the curriculum of JEE. Please watch this session, it is very important and it is going to increase your interest in mathematics and in number theory in general. A lot of students already know the importance of preparing for Olympiads. If they want to get top ranks in JEE, exams like JEE, they have to start Olympiads earlier. So I say three things to my students whenever they join. Right, so these properties are not there at all. And even if you know these properties, if you don't know the proofs, it is of no use because the most amazing problems are never going to be on, the standard results I've told you before. Hi everyone, good evening, Jai Hind. Number theory has become one of the most hot topics these days because of its relevance in exams like IOKM, RMO, other math contests, and also exams like ISI. JEE Advanced has been asking problems on number theory recently, even though this is not a part of the curriculum of JEE. Right, so in this session, we'll be talking about the importance of number theory, kahan help karta hai, even after you get into the college. If you are pursuing something like computer science and if you want to be a good coder, it is not going to be possible if you're not good in number theory, right? So number theory has a lot of relevance. And what are the career options for someone who's very good in number theory? We'll be talking about that. We'll be talking about number theory with regards to these exams, kitna relevant hai, kitne percent problems aaye hain in IOKM, RMO, or maybe something like ISI, Indian Statistical Institute, right? So, and how do we improve number theory? How do we build number theory from the start? This is what we're going to talk about. The sad part is number theory is not there in any of the Indian boards, be it CBSE or ICSE or IGCSE or any other board. It is not there at all. Whatever is given is not sufficient and does not go into depth. Right. So how do we develop number theory? What are the important books? What are the good books? And what are the topics to be covered from different sources that I'm going to discuss in today's session. So hope you're all ready. All right. So let's talk about this. Now, before we move into the session, this is my Telegram ID for the students who want to get in touch with me for any kind of help. They can reach out to me at this Telegram ID at the rate of 86 Mahajan, and make sure you subscribe to this particular channel if you've still not subscribed to this. Okay, so one session that I have already taken is 10 unsolved problems on number theory. So if you want to know how interesting number theory is and how interesting number theory can be, please watch this session. It is very important and it is going to increase your interest in mathematics and in number theory in general. After doing this session, I have received a lot of mails, a lot of telegrams from the students discussing some of these problems with me, and it is very amazing to see those discussions. These problems are not very difficult, but again, they are the problems which have still not been solved. The mathematicians are still trying to solve these problems. So please do watch this session. It is going to be interesting and it is going to be life-changing. If you like mathematics, you will fall in love with mathematics. The topic is 10 unsolved problems on number theory, and it is on this particular channel only. Okay. Now, what is the reason that number theory is weak amongst the students? Is it hard or is it not taught properly the way it should be taught? Right. So I would say it's a combination of both, more so because of this reason. Right. So see, the number theory, as I mentioned, in most of the boards, it is not there at all in depth. So whatever number theory is there, it is just the tip of the iceberg. And by doing only that, the students are not able to get into the depths. Right. So it is not about, classifying number theory is hard. It is hard. It can be hard. Everything is hard. Right. But if it is being taught, if it is taught in the nicer way, and we get into the depths, the students, the basic number theory, the elementary number theory can definitely be clear to most of the students this way. Okay. Now, what are the problems which are faced by the students in number theory? And these are the problems which I, encounter a lot in my batches. Right. So we take a lot of batches starting grade 7 from the senior batches. And these are the 5 problems which are there in every I would say batch of mine. First, the basic divisibility primes factorization are very weak and most of it is rote learning. Ratta mara hota bachchon ne. I'll give you an example. So I was discussing this problem very recently in one of my batches. It is called level 5 batch. It is for the students of grade 6, 7th and 8th. The problem was find the smallest number that leaves the remainder 4, 5, 6, 7 on dividing by 5, 6, 7, 8 respectively. And the similar looking problem was find the greatest number which divides 1531 and 1522, leaving the remainder 1 and 7 respectively. Some students literally said that हमें मैडम ने बताया है whenever there is a smallest number, when we find GCD, greatest common divisor, and जब भी problem के अंदर greatest होता है तो हम LCM find करते हैं. This was the wordings of the students. And this is not only one course I'm talking about. Every year, every time new students enter my courses, they tell me, one or more students tell me this, that this has been taught to them in school without any logic, without giving them any explanation. Right? So this is what is happening in the schools. उनको बोल दिया जाता है कि जब भी इस तरह का क्वेश्चन आए, smallest दिखे तो GCD निकालो, greatest दिखे तो lowest common multiple निकालो. Right? So this is what has been happening, and because of this, the rote learning is more and understanding of the topic is very less. And students, when they grow up, they become very weak in number theory. The second is memorizing theorems without understanding. Right, so a lot of students, because this is an Olympiad era, a lot of students already know the importance of preparing for Olympiads. They want to get top ranks in JEE exams like JEE. They have to start Olympiads early on. Very clear. But इसके चक्कर में होता क्या है, बहुत सारे बच्चे, a lot of books, there are a lot of standard books which are there. They start doing them, but again they memorize these theorems without actually understanding them. Right? For example, a lot of students know divisibility rule of 3 and 9 and something like Fermat theorem and divisibility rule of 11. But even if you ask even an 11th or a 12th grader, what is the proof that a number is divisible by 3 if the sum of the digits is divisible by 3? Or the proof that number and the sum of the digits give the same remainder with 9? He would not be able to tell you. Right? So they know the rules, but they do not know how and why the rules are there. Something like Fermat theorem, so a to the power p is 1 mod p for every prime p. But again, how does it happen? Where does it happen? Iska proof. Right, so students do not know this, but proofs are something which gives you a lot of ideas. If you want to improve the number theory, proving the standard, the trivial things is the most important thing, because proofs gives you ideas. अगर तुम divisibility rule of 9 का proof कर लेते हो, समझ लेते हो, then you are in a position to derive the divisibility rule of any number. You can derive the divisibility rule of 13, you can derive the divisibility rule of 59, you can derive the divisibility rule of 17, any number, you can derive your own divisibility rules. This is the power of deriving or the proofs. Right, so proofs are very important, but a lot of students sadly do not get into the proofs, they only fall into the results. JEE Advanced exams like RMO, IOQM are never going to give you problems based on direct results. They're never going to do that, because they know that students already know direct results. Why would they give anything, something like this? What is the remainder when 5 to the power 4 is divided by p, or is divided by 7? They are never going to give you that, because everyone knows that, every student knows Fermat theorem. Okay, right? So they are going to give you problems based on the proofs of these results. Always. The most iconic problems which have been asked in RMO or JEE Advanced are the ones which have been derived from the proofs of the standard theorem. So what they do is they change something in the standard theorem so that the standard theorem is not used. ठीक है, कुछ ना कुछ चेंज कर देंगे स्टैंडर्ड थ्योरम के अंदर, कुछ कंडीशंस के अंदर, so that standard theorem बने ना. But again, अगर standard theorem नहीं बनेगा, student will not be able to use. The student will have to derive the new theorem based on the conditions which are being given, and on the basis of that result, the answer comes. This typically happens. So I say 3 things to my students whenever they join our courses. The 3 things are feel, prove, apply. So whenever you see a new theorem, any new result in mathematics or science or physics or chemistry, feel the theorem. For example, if a to the power p minus 1 is 1 mod p, is congruent to 1 mod p, iska feel karo. Try to put different values of p, try to put different values of a and see what is happening. What does it mean? Then the second is try to prove it. खुद से. Prove वाले केस के अंदर 80% or maybe 90% of the cases you might not be able to find your own proof. That's perfectly fine. Just try. Trying is more important. And third, and the most important one is apply. Before seeing the solved examples, try to find whether you are able to find the applications on your own. खुद से फाइंड करो कि इस रिजल्ट की जरूरत क्यों पड़ी, व्हाई वाज दिस रिजल्ट, व्हाई डिड दिस रिजल्ट कम इनटू आवर लाइव्स, ऐसा क्या था, ऐसी क्या प्रॉब्लम थी दैट वी वर नॉट एबल टू सॉल्व बिफोर, बट दिस रिजल्ट helped us solve that problem. Try to think it on your own. What are the applications, probable applications of this particular result? तो ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है. फील, प्रूव, अप्लाई इज समथिंग व्हिच इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एंड इट वर्क्स एवरीवेयर. Next is ignoring patterns and playing with numbers. Again, students do not know how to play with numbers and they are not able to see the patterns. Okay, most of the times what happens is it is a teacher in the school gives them homework, the formula they already know, they do the homework, they think that they've done 15 problems, 20 problems and that is done. But important चीज क्या होती है कि यार हर प्रॉब्लम के पीछे ना कहानी छुपी होती है. There's a story behind every problem, and every problem, even if you solve the problem, if you spend time after the problem, you get to learn a lot of things. For example, this is one problem again which we do in one of our batches, that is level 5. So एक बहुत simple सा problem है, वो है 13579 upon minus 13579 plus of minus 13578 into 13580 का value कितना है. A lot of students are able to solve this problem. There is nothing wrong in this. But very few are able to look deep. For example, in this problem, if I want to solve this first, तो मैं क्या करूंगा, 13579 को A मान लूंगा because these three numbers are very close to each other. 13578 would be A minus 1 and 13580 would be A plus 1. So if we talk about denominator, only denominator, so it will be A square minus or a plus of minus of A minus 1. So minus of A minus 1 into A plus 1. Okay, so this is A square minus of A square minus 1, which is 1. And they would say, oh, the denominator is going to be 1. And the answer is 13579. So answer of this problem is going to be 13579. And they would stop here and they would move on to the next problem. But the point is, the students who look deep into this, who spend time, oh, this is done. This is done. But what happened? What happened? 13579 was A. This was a number which was less than A. This was a number which was more than A. So he found this identity here. He said, oh, this A square plus of minus of A minus 1 into A plus 1 is always coming out to be 1. So it is not. So these three numbers are not of much significant. If I find any number जो इस form का है, any set of numbers जो इस form के है, it is always going to satisfy the result. Can I do this for, let's say, when A is 22? So 22 square minus 21 into 23. This is always going to be 1. 97 square minus 96 into 98 is always going to be 1. 1745 square minus 1744 into 1746 is always going to be 1. Right? तो ये result अपने दिमाग में डाला उन बच्चों को who have spent time on this problem. As I mentioned, everyone will be able to do this problem. There is nothing wrong. But the point is, the ones who spend time on the problem after the problem is solved are the ones who gain the most in mathematics. Okay, so there is a story behind every problem. So every problem, there is a particular reason. Any author or any problem setter has made that particular problem because it would give you some kind of result. So think of that result after solving the problem. ये बहुत important aspect है, and this aspect is not only important for number theory but in general all the important topics. And last is rationalized content. A lot of things are not there at all, which is a sad part. For example, something like congruence of integers is not there. And let me tell you guys, अगर congruence of integers तुमने नहीं पढ़ा है ना, तो तुम्हें number theory की beauty पता ही नहीं है. You will never be able to recognize the actual beauty of number theory if you haven't learned something like elementary as number theory, which sadly is not in any school board apart from Assam board in India. So a lot of students do not know arithmetic, modular arithmetic, EDL, Euclidean division lemma was a part of the curriculum. It has been scrapped. Properties of GCD, they do not know. Very amazing properties of GCD. Something as trivial as this, that दो numbers है A and B, इसका GCD is same as GCD of A minus B and B. It's a very amazing property of GCD. Can it be two numbers? Let's say if there are two numbers 99 and 100. If I want to find the GCD of these two numbers, keep one number as it is. Bigger minus smaller number is 1. So GCD of these two numbers is same as GCD of these two numbers, which is 1. So again, there's no need to prime factorize or use the algorithm, division algorithm method. Right? So these properties are not there at all. And even if you know these properties, if you don't know the proofs, it is of no use, because the most amazing problems are never going to be on the standard results I've told you before. Right. And the last is no structured practice is there. Right. So students, even after doing these theorems and doing the problems, again, there's no structure attached to it. Again, randomness zyada hai, in the sense that, student would realize, I have not done modular arithmetic. So he would start doing a modular arithmetic, and then he would realize, the sir also told GCD properties. Let me also find GCD properties from some source, and let me do it also. But again, agar isko ek tarike se kiya jaye, then of course you are able to gain better. Okay, so because number theory are not isolated things, they are very very close knit subtopics, and all the topics are closely linked to each other. So it is very important to go in a structured way. So it is very important to follow a book. If we talk about the number theory in IOQM, because यहाँ पे ज़्यादातर audience जो है IOQM related है, so we'll be talking about IOQM and ISI and JEE also. So IOQM year 2022, the question-wise weightage 25%. 25% means 1/4 of the problems were asked in number theory. 29%, and 2025 there were 30%. 30% मतलब 1/3, close to 1/3 of the problems was from number theory. The marks weightage in 2025 it was 35%. 35 marks out of 100 were from number theory in last year IOQM 2025, and it is increasing by the year, you can see. So again, this shows the importance of number theory as far as exams are concerned. And अगर हम subtopic wise बात करें, so 2025 के अंदर 3 problems were on base system or miscellaneous, 1 problem on GCD LCM, 2 problems on modular arithmetic, 1 on Fermat theorem, and 3 problems were asked from Diophantine equation. And you can see the spread in the other years also. Also, if we talk about RMO and INMO, 2025 RMO के अंदर एक प्रॉब्लम आया था नंबर थ्योरी के अंदर, INMO के अंदर 3 प्रॉब्लम्स आए थे. So INMO 2026 there were 3 problems which was asked on number theory. So again, this shows the importance of number theory. And if we talk about 2025, 2 problems in RMO 2024 and 3 problems in INMO 2026 were asked in number theory P1, P2 and P6. ISI Indian Statistical Institute के अंदर number theory का बहुत ज़्यादा importance है. ISI 2025 UGB, last year there were 3 problems asked on number theory, and this year there was 1 problem out of 8 problems which was asked on number theory. It was very trivial in nature. ठीक है, so यहाँ पे बाकी चीजें लिखी है. So IIT entrance exam ISI में 11.2% weightage in the last 10 years, CMI में 9% weightage in the last 11 years on an average, and JEE Mains Advanced, even though this topic is not officially a part of these exams, even then there are certain problems which are asked on number theory, even if the problem might not be on number theory. As I mentioned, number theory has a lot of applications. For example, one of them is finding remainders. So if a problem is asked on finding remainders, which can be done using binomial theorem officially, but using number theory, it can be done in 1/10 of a time, right? So that is why, and of course, वैसे भी मतलब कुछ problems आए हुए हैं, and I'll also try to make a session on the problems which have been asked in number theory in JEE Advanced over the last couple of years. Again, it has other applications other than the exam. So cryptography, cybersecurity, gaming and computer graphics. If you want to code, music, art, golden ratios are used. Financial markets, engineering and communication, space exploration. So if you want, I'll make a separate session on the detailed version of these. Okay. Now, the important problem is how to develop the number theory. So number theory is important. We all know. We've discussed. But how do we develop this number theory? Okay. So for someone who's a school-going student, उसके लिए सबसे important चीज है कि यार एक तो number systems chapter from grade 9th and real numbers from grade 10th करना है. ये तो सबसे important है. ये तो सबसे पहली चीज है. This is priority 0. ठीक है. So because only after this you'll be able to understand the rest of the things, right? So these are the must-do things. After this, then you develop these topics. Once you are able to develop these 7 topics, your elementary number theory is developed. Elementary means you will be able to answer 2-marker problems, 3-marker problems in IOQM, and maybe ISI, UG, and UGP problems. You will be able to do most of them. So Euclidean algorithm, Euclidean division lemma, LCM and HCF with important properties which are not there in school, remainders, including the negative remainders, prime numbers, divisibility rules, induction. A lot of what you would say, sir, ये तो सब पता ही है, ये तो हमने 6th, 7th, 8th में किया था. But again, guys, इसको डेप्थ में पढ़ना है. कैसे पढ़ना है वो भी बताऊंगा. But this has to be done in depth. There are a lot of things which even after listening to these topics which may be familiar, you would have done. You know what remainders are. But again, depth. What you have done in school level is not even tip of the iceberg. I can tell you that. Okay. After these basic things getting into depth, then you study these things: congruence of integers, Diophantine equation, Fermat and Wilson theorem, Euler function and base system. तो ये 5 चीजें ऐसी हैं जो नंबर थ्योरी में तुम्हें अच्छा फील दे देगी. You'll be able to do a lot of problems of RMO and INMO also after doing these topics. And also Indian Statistical Institute, the subjective part, you'll be able to do most of the problems after doing these 5 things. What are the books? For beginners, these are certain books which we recommend. One is the First Step for Math Olympiad. इसमें chapters 5, 6, 10, 11. Lecture Notes Volume 1, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Lecture Notes Volume 2, 18, 19, 20, 23, 26. And if you have US IOQM book, you can do chapter 0 and chapter 1. And if you want, after doing this, after developing the basic number theory, if you want to develop the advanced number theory, then the one of the most important books is Elementary Number Theory by David Burton. First 5 chapters you need to do. Modern Olympiad Number Theory by Aditya Kurmi, chapters 1, 2, and 4. Excursion in Mathematics, chapter 1. Problem Primer 1.1, 2.1, and 3.1. And 104 Number Theory, chapters 1, 2, and 3 you need to do. Right, so once you are able to do this, you will be quite confident about number theory, and तुम्हें लगेगा कि हाँ, you understand numbers, right? So you'll be at that particular position. And as I mentioned, this is one topic one session which I've already taken on YouTube. I took it last year, but again, it is still relevant, and this is going to improve your interest in number theory in general. These are 10 unsolved problems in number theory that you will be able to relate, which have still not been solved. And do watch this session. It is going to definitely develop your interest in mathematics in general. Make sure you subscribe to this particular channel. And also, if you want to study this in a structured way, ये जो number theory है ना, at different levels we do in all our batches. So our सबसे छोटा जो छोटे बच्चों का batch है, that is level 5 batch, which is typically for grades 7th and 8th students. And the latest batch has already started. Okay, so latest batch started on 7th of May, and it runs on 3 days: Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 to 8:30 p.m. And here we are going to develop basic elementary number theory. Right. So if you want to opt for weekend batch, so this is level 5 weekend batch also, which is going to start today, 14th of tomorrow, 14th of May. It is going to be first class, 5 to 6:30 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. And here also we are going to develop number theory from the very basics. Then there is a level 6 batch for students of grade 9th and 10th. 9th और 10th वाले बच्चों के लिए, and यहाँ पर भी number theory is going to be one of the portions of out of the 4 portions: number theory, geometry, combinatorics, and algebra. 1/4 of the portion, 1/4 of the lectures are going to be on number theory, and the last batch has already started. It started on 2nd of May, and you can opt for this batch. The link is there in the description box. And if you have developed basic number theory, elementary number theory is developed, if you want to improve it to the next level, then level 7 batch, which has already started from 7th of May. The batch timings are Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. This is 4 days a week, 5 to 6:30 p.m. It is taken by me, and you can join this batch as well. Okay, and there is this IOQM 2026 weekend. Okay, for the students who want to develop number theory and in general are preparing for IOQM, ये batch है. This batch specifically runs in the evening, 9 to 10:30 p.m. 3 days a week, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. It is taken by Anirudh sir, and you can opt for this batch also. I've made videos of in detail videos of these all batches. What do we do? What are the expectations? What are the learning outcomes? ये सब videos मैं बना चुका हूँ. ये तुम देख सकते हो हमारे video section के अंदर, and you'll be able to find more details about these. So links to join these batches are there in the description box. There's a query form also which is there in the description box. You can fill the query form, and if you have any doubts, questions regarding any of the batches, our team is going to connect to you and you can ask. Take care. God bless you. Bye everyone, and wishing you all the best. Happy studying.